Warning, the show you're about to watch contains profanity. Possible news stories including nudity, offensive behavior, etc., etc. Basically just saying this show is awesome, and we have to warn you about it. Our opinions don't reflect any of the people's at the studio or the broadcast channel that you're watching currently.
We gotta do a warning now?
Yep.
That's bullshit.
Tonight on Earth News, an atomic wedgie murder. Are there whores in Framingham?
Oh my god!
And can we sue toothpaste companies over not attracting single women?
All this right now.
Hi, welcome to Earth News.
Welcome.
I'm Mark Crandall.
And I'm Brad Crandall.
And again,
welcome to Earth News.
welcome to Earth News.
Do we got stories upon stories upon stories for you guys today?
Yeah, but don't worry, we're going to do one at a time.
Yeah.
So we don't have to stack it on top of stacking on top of stacking.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Do you know I went to the Bully Boy Brewery today?
The Bully Boy.
Yeah,
Bully.
the distillery, and they hooked me up with a free shirt.
Nice.
So,
did you tell them you were going to plug
guys.
them on the show?
No, that's actually a little surprise.
Oh, cool. Maybe we'll be accepting those checks in the mail then. Good.
We always are.
Yeah.
Again,
right. We should send them this episode, and then we'll see what's up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Just be like, hey, guys, guess what? We plugged Bully Boy. And we'll plug it every single week if you keep those checks coming.
Or just booze.
Or just booze. Either or. And we'll have a bottle of Bully Boy right there.
Yep, there you go.
All right, so what's worse in a college hockey game than to have a goal scored at the last second? Well, in Denver, at the Denver University Pioneers club hockey team, they scored a big win over the ACH rivals Utah State University this past Friday night thanks to a big overtime goal. Now, the only problem with this overtime goal is it was from defenseman Robert Beardron with 15 seconds remaining in OT. And the Pioneers were shorthanded. The puck came to Beardron off a defensive zone faceoff, and he immediately, instinctively fired it 200 feet into the empty net to win the game. Wow. Wait a sec. Hold on. You're wondering right now. And no, Utah State didn't have a goaltender pulled at any point in time. They didn't pull goaltender Keegan McHenry to go 5-on-3 for the final 15 seconds. He was just out there in the corner chatting up the crowd. Huh? The goalie was in play.
Wow, well, seriously, that goalie was just what? He was just
chilling
around.
I mean, he was just talking up the crowd, you know? He was like, hey, it's not like it's our big rivals, the Denver University Pioneers hockey team. And it wasn't like they were going, 5-on-3, but the goalie was just chilling.
Wow. Well, that's a bad goalie right there, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Wasn't playing the net. He was playing the crowd.
He was definitely playing the crowd. I mean, maybe if there was a couple attractive, females in the crowd. But first things first, you look out for your team. If Tuca ever played that way, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I would be totally ticked off.
I'd be devastated. But so he said that I am ashamed and disgusted with myself with what happened and how I acted. I let myself, and more importantly, my team down. So that was Keegan McHenry quoted this month.
Well, at least he knows.
Yeah, he does.
And he feels sorry.
So what's this I hear about whores in Framingham?
Huh? Yeah, it was a crazy story that I ran into while I was at the spa. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've lived in Framingham for like a while, and I couldn't find them. It was like I don't know where. Not that I was looking. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mike. It wasn't like I was looking, but I didn't know they existed down there.
Right? Yeah, I mean, there are whores in Framingham, but beside that, was prostitution in Framingham. So the thing is that a New York woman ran the Route 30 massage parlor that was actually a front for a prostitution, authorities said. Framingham police arrested Ping Du, 51, at the Lavender Spa, 27B Chichituit Road. And, yeah, that was it. It was the Lavender Spa, and apparently what's it called? Undercover cop went in, and guess he wasn't feeling it. I don't know. Yeah, you think he would have just left with out saying it?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, most people that would go in for a massage, it's just like, oh, cool, yeah, I'm going in for a massage, and then you get that question at the end. You're just like, wait a second, I'm not.
What?
No. No. Oh, no. Or maybe you say yes. But, who just goes in and says, all right, I'm busting this party down, whoa.
I wonder if he busted it after.
Probably. I bet you it was afterwards.
You think it would have been like, you know what, officer, you really like that place, huh? They give a great massage.
It's my 10th massage of the month. Yes, I can't help it. I just feel so tense. I need deep tissue relaxation. But
before every shift or after every shift.
Speaking of work, so a teen was actually he lost his job after wearing a Broncos jersey to work in Seattle. So this teen, Nathaniel Wentz, he lost his job because his manager told employees to wear jerseys on January 19th with Seahawks fever running rampant in the Northwest. But when Wentz arrived, he arrived in Broncos gear. His manager abruptly told him to go home and change into something else. Not having something else, the 17-year-old Denver fan never returned to work after being sent home, and says that's the official reason he was fired. He did not come back after he was told to come back. It was all about you can't represent your team. There's something wrong with that. But it's a petty move on the part of the employer, but it's completely legal because technically he never did come back to work. So he was told to go home, change his get-up, because let's face it, he's working in Seattle. If he's wearing a Broncos jersey,
it's bad for business.
Yeah, it's bad for business. So the manager said, no, you can't wear that. You got to go home and change into something else. He refused to. 17-year-old Nathaniel Wentz will be looking for another job now.
Yep. Hold on. Can we go back to this just real quick? This picture of this lady. Tell me she does not look stoned to you.
That picture right there. Yeah. She's definitely under something. Yeah, that are really tired.
Yeah,
maybe she needs a massage.
Boom.
All
right, yeah, but that's crazy about the that jersey. It's like he was a Broncos fan.
Yeah, he's a Broncos fan. Like even if you're in Seattle, what the employer should have said is you should have said wear Seattle gear, not Super Bowl gear. So the manager probably had it upon himself. He said wear some Super Bowl gear. If he said wear Seattle gear, then that would have been one thing. But he probably said wear some Super Bowl gear. Like come on, we got Seattle coming up. He wore Broncos and he was nixed.
You know what he should have did? They should have just been like, all right, since you wore that, you're gonna be the janitor on duty.
The dishwasher.
Yeah, exactly.
Something
all right, you're gonna be taking out the garbage.
All right. Now, we're living in a troubled society when people need to be told things on, like a warning label on the side of something. So, could you imagine staring at a package of Smarties and seeing a warning that said, snorting Smarties can cause nasal maggots? This is actually true because last Thursday, parents of students at the Portsmouth Middle School in Rhode Island were sent an email warning them about the dangers of snorting crushed up Smarties candy. The Smarties, Halloween candy, everything, it finds stuff into your pockets. But while it won't get you high, Smartie snorting can cause lung infections, bloody noses, and allergic reactions, including the production of nasal maggots. That is absolutely horrifying, disgusting, and
repulsive.
So what happens is when it stays in your nasal cavity for long enough, it can attract flies into the nostril. So while you're sleeping, the flies can go in. The fly can hang around just long enough to lay eggs, which makes this probably the grossest story that I've reported on.
I don't know. We've
had some pretty bad stories, but nasal maggots from Smarties? Don't get me wrong. When I was young, that pixie stick, we had a few bets to see if you could snort that, but
came out just fine.
It was all fun. I didn't come up with nasal maggots, maybe some brain damage or damage to the brain.
But, yeah, you know what? Maybe these kids just thought that was going to be a different way to get energy. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
The weirdest part about it is the presence of nose maggots even has a medical name. It's called nasal myiasis.
Wow.
And parents have been warned to watch for kids obsessively scratching their noses as an indication that the child may have maggots in their nose.
Wow.
Presumably, parents should also pay attention to whether kids are picking white, rigid boogers. So, honestly, kids don't start snorting Smarties.
Do they only snort the white ones?
Yeah. Any one of their package flavors will probably have the same effect.
It's got the variety of flavors.
What in the world are you doing snorting Smarties?
Kids
why
will
would
be
you
kids.
crush it?
Kids will be kids.
Yeah, but hold on. What kid is the first kid to literally sit there and be like, I want to smash that and put it up my nose?
I'm pretty sure it was my friend Phil.
In the middle of school.
The first one to do that.
Shout out to Phil back there.
Love you, buddy. They're called Smarties.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's...
You're not smart for
They're a bunch of dummies.
Yeah. So, you know how we've always said...
Not you, Phil. You're one of the smartest people I know.
Not always. So a man wanted to prove that women don't have it that bad on dating sites, and it's super easy to pick up a guy for a woman on a dating site. So he did. He wanted to prove it, and he barely lasted 2 hours before canceling his account. Reddit username OKC Throwaway 222221 decided to prove just how easy they had it after talking with a friend about her experiences in online dating. Well, he figured most of the time it's the men chasing and messaging the women, and that they just sit there and wait for the right guy to say, okay. So he created a profile for a female version of himself using a picture of his friend, who calls herself pretty average looking, and dove into it. He lasted 2 hours. 2 hours. They also said that there were very, 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 very naughty messages sent. Messages with provocative comments. Comments such as saying, hey, why don't we meet behind the corner of the store and just ampersand, exponent deleted, exponent deleted, exponent deleted. Now, we do try to uncensor stuff on this show, but if you want more on the story, look it up yourself, because most of the stuff that was posted to this guy on this dating site was, how do I say, up. Without saying messed up. Yeah.
You can just say messed up. That's messed up.
And so I couldn't actually believe it, dude. That was crazy. What do you got on that?
That is kind of messed up, as I would say. Just making a profile of a girl in general. It's pretty messed up, and the guy had it coming to him, I guess. What do you guess? Like some some
I guess some
pics.
soccer, yeah, probably a few pictures, if you will, some D-pics.
Some, I mean, I don't know. That's messed up. That's messed up.
All right, so
it's like catfish.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know?
So, did you hear about the guy who sued a toothpaste company after failing to attract single girls? So, Close-Up Toothpaste, as we all know and love, says that, or excuse me, he said there was a close-up effect in what could provide to be a major marketing and legal embarrassment for Unilever Nigerian Limited. The 26-year-old man has filed the case against the company which owns the Close-Up toothpaste brand for cheating and causing him mental suffering. The plaintiff has cited his failure to attract any girl at all, even though he's been using the Close-Up toothpaste for over 7 years now. Close-Up advertisements suggest that the product helps men in instantly attracting women by letting their breasts out. So, Anthony Oluntuff, the petitioner, has also surrendered all his used, unused, and half-used Close-Up tubes of toothpaste to the court and demanded a laboratory test of all the products. He was pushed to take this step when his female boss slapped him in his face when he tried to kiss her after brushing his teeth with the Close-Up toothpaste. So, where is this Close-Up effect? I've been waiting for over 7 years now, right from my college to now in my office. You know, no girl ever agreed to go even out for a cup of tea or coffee with me, even though I am sure they could have smelled my breath. I've always brushed my teeth with so much Close-Up gel to make sure the girls get turned on by my fresh breath as they usually show on TV.
Oh my God.
This dude's taking it to court, and if he wins, I'm immediately taking Axe to court to try and say, hey, your Axe body spray does not surround me by the hottest models I've ever seen in my entire life. Because if this guy wins this case, it's going to go for just... Sure, we got Axe body spray lying around. We could probably make a case out of it.
Right? That's crazy. I don't know. It makes him sound kind of desperate, though.
Way too desperate. But, I mean, what's desperate when you have... What do you think a case like that would settle at? A few mil? At least?
Some different toothpaste.
They didn't even show a picture of the guy. I bet you he could be ugly.
he probably is. I don't know.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Did you hear about a parrot that ratted some guy out for drunk driving?
Huh? He ratted a guy for drunk driving? Yeah, he ratted
his owner out after the guy was at a checkpoint. Here. A man's pet parrot turned into a rat. Guillermo Reyes was stopped at an alcohol checkpoint in Mexico City, and while the stop was routine, what the cops discovered was not. When Reyes was pulled out of his car for testing, cops heard the voice inside the vehicle saying, "He's drunk, he's drunk," according to the Spanish language newspaper, El Universal, who first reported the story. While police initially suspected that there was another person in the car, instead, they found the man's pet parrot doing a good deed and dutifully reporting his owner for drunk driving.
Was he a Spanish guy?
Yeah,
Guillermo?
Yeah.
So, I wonder if the parrot was sitting there saying, "Está borracho! Está borracho!" in Spanish, or whether he was actually saying it in English. The poor guy, it's probably like something his wife was saying to him at home while he had the parrot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, "You're drunk, he's drunk, he's drunk."
That's terrible.
Or like his little kid or something. And all of a sudden he's taking a parrot for a ride, and, maybe he did have a few drinks.
Then he failed the sobriety test.
Mm-hmm. He had a few drinks, and he's drunk. Está borracho. Está borracho.
I wonder if the bird belongs to the police now. I don't know.
They confiscated the bird. We're going to use this for testimony.
At the court, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It'd be like, wait, what was the Spanish thing that you said?
Está borracho. Like, he is drunk.
That's drunk. What that means?
Yeah.
Since when did you learn Spanish, eh?
Yo hablo un poquito español.
Do you know my Spanish name was Paco?
It wasn't Benito, like your name, Brad?
No, Benito came
Mine
after.
was Arturo, which is Spanish for Arthur. So,
I mean, we got to pick our own.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I could have been Pablo. I would have been Pablo.
I was thinking about Pablo.
Pablo is funny. So, speaking of funny, funny yet unfunny, an atomic wedgie murder. An atomic wedgie murder has happened in Oklahoma. I wish I was actually kidding. This is true. A 33-year-old man has been charged with one of the most bizarre murders Oklahoma has ever seen, which is tough. Bradley Davis has been charged with murdering his stepfather, 58-year-old Denver St. Clair, using his underwear. Pottawatomie County deputies say that Davis gave St. Clair an atomic wedgie and that the elastic from the underwear wrapped around St. Clair's neck, which ultimately led to his death.
Holy
Nobody that I've had contact with has seen anything like this before. Pottawatomie County Lieutenant Jimmy Brewer said, "The asphyxia is coming from the atomic wedgie," said Brewer. The gentleman pulled St. Clair's underwear up over his head. So Davis called 911 after he realized that St. Clair had stopped breathing and admitted to the deputies that he had given his stepfather an atomic wedgie. He explained that he got into a fist fight after St. Clair insulted his mother, and that's when he gave him the wedgie. Davis said he wanted to hurt St. Clair but had no intentions of killing him. So be careful when you're giving people atomic wedgies.
So what happened? The underwear went through his butt, up to his brain, and killed. No.
So
how
he did like
how did he die from that?
He did like a flip, and it was like a, oh my gosh, sorry, fail.
Oh, so he flipped
oh my
him?
gosh, so then it kept going until he went
like right here. And then it was like, oh my god, this atomic wedgie is too much.
So then. The underwear strap got stuck like right here and ended up choking him out.
Oh my god.
See, that's why sometimes boxers are good. Because boxers will just rip. And boxer briefs will just rip. Stop wearing whitey tighties.
Those are
There's
some
no
quality
support.
undies.
There's no support there. You're not getting
There's
anything
usually-
from whitey tighties.
I thought there's usually more support.
No, boxer briefs are the most support.
Yeah.
Because they wrap around. But anyway. Enough with support. This guy died from an atomic wedgie.
Whoa. Is he going down for manslaughter?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
he's going for, where is it?
He's
been charged with murder.
He's getting thrown the book.
Yeah, they're throwing the book at him, and probably the pair of underwear he used to choke him. Anyway,
Oh man,
this is almost as bad as that couple where the woman died from that guy's Dutch oven.
right? Yeah, that was messed up, huh?
The guy
can't
should have
believe
checked
that.
what he was eating before he just suffocated her.
He killed it. For all you that don't know what a Dutch oven is, it's when you fart and pull the sheets over somebody.
It's just not nice. Don't do it.
Yeah, like
Mike,
I
how
don't-
we doing
yeah.
on time, buddy?
Probably about 8 minutes left.
All right.
okay. So hey,
Gives us enough time for that that awesome story. What
Yeah,
were you
right.
telling me right before?
which one?
The one about the flamethrower?
Oh yeah, I was saying everyone hates shoveling, especially around here. I mean, unless you get paid for it, and then in which case you love it. But this man came up with the smartest / dumbest idea that you could possibly think of. So this man was arrested for using a flamethrower to get rid of all his snow.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Heat melts snow.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense,
And
right?
it's snow, when it melts, it's gone. So, flamethrower, yes, equals quality idea, I think. Maybe.
So,
So what happened to him?
Fargo, ND, which is North Dakota. I knew that. Local resident Todd Fox has been detained for reckless endangerment and illegal use of a high-powered, fire-breathing weaponry for attacking snow with his flamethrower. He attacked the snow. Fox reportedly became so fed up with the week-long blowing snow epidemic in his area that he decided to kill it with fire. Frosty the Snowman's worst nightmare, the flamethrower. The neighborhood was treated with quite a show last night as Fox unleashed an inferno upon the mountainous snow palace that was his front yard. Neighbors to his immediate right and left noticed a bright orange cloud and could hear what they thought was Puff the Magic Dragon spewing mayhem all over hell, which prompted one of them to notify police. Fox stated that he was simply fed up with battling the elements and that he did not possess the willpower necessary to move 4 billion tons of white bull. Police say that Fox surrendered his efforts immediately upon their arrival and that his front yard looked like a hydrogen bomb had gone off. They think he was just happy to be done with the snow removal, even though he was taken to jail. Isn't that hilarious?
So at least he finished.
Yeah,
you know, according to that story, it sounds like he finished getting rid of all the snow.
You know, but for the money he's going to have to pay for court and stuff.
Well, I mean, number one, what are you doing with the flamethrower? In your possession. Number two, do you have a license for that flamethrower? Number three,
how do you get a license?
How do you get a license for a flamethrower? And number four, where did you get that flamethrower in the first place? Because I'd like to know. And number five, for that matter, why are you using a flamethrower with your neighbors in viewpoint? Like,
right,
it doesn't make sense. Your neighbors are obviously going to say something. It's not like a firework. That you're lighting off at like 8 o'clock where the neighbors are watching too and everybody's enjoying it. Even
Which
though
sometimes they might call the police on
But even then they might call the police, especially if you live in Dover and Sherburne. People don't like loud noises or being disturbed or any of that. It's a shame.
Yeah, did you hear?
In Maine, they'd all be patting you on the back for your display of
They'd
fireworks.
be like, hey, after you're done with the flamethrower in your yard, can you hit my yard?
Can you do mine? I'll pay you $20.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Therefore, it's easier than shoveling. It takes about a quarter of the time.
Right? There has to be like a better way than snow blowing, right? And that's a flamethrower, clearly.
That's a flamethrower,
But, so have you ever heard that dolphins pass around pufferfish to get high? And it's the new redefined term, puff pass.
Puff pass. Is that where that term comes from?
I don't even know if that. I don't think that's where it came from, but it's what's going on.
So you're telling me dolphins are now using pufferfish?
They have been using pufferfish, the toxins, and they each member of the pod of stoners appear to gently pass the fish around after each hit, forever redefining the notion of puff pass. The discovery that wild animals purposely get intoxicated is nothing new. It is to me, but researchers have long been aware that drunk monkeys, hallucinating porcupines, and magic mushroom eating reindeer, for instance. But this is the first time such behavior has been directly recorded in marine mammals. So how crazy is that? This was a case of young dolphins purposely experimenting with something we know to be intoxicating.
Well, I guess, like bees. Bees can go get pollen from a certain flower that'll get them messed up. But if they ever return to the hive, they're like killed. You get humans. There's plenty of options there. I'm not even going to go into it. Deer's eating magic mushrooms, porcupines hallucinating, and even back, way back, they used to have flowers that they used to take that smoke them and they hallucinate them.
Really?
Way back.
Oh, wow.
And actually on the ground where the Vatican was. Crazy back. But
what kind of flower?
What was it called? The Vatica.
The Vatica flower?
Vatica. Well, it was the Vatica was a term for the god that was reigned over the dead land where they used to throw their bodies. The wine, the really crappy wine that used to grow from the grapes on the hill, and the drug-inducing roots of a plant where they smoked it and it made them hallucinate.
Wow.
Ancient times.
That is intense.
I think we might have to wait for the rest of the stories for next week.
Oh, let me do one as a warning, okay? So, apparently, I know a lot of you, including myself, like to have ask for a glass of water with a lemon wedge and stuff. But now they're finding out that is disgusting, actually, because the lemons apparently have been get infected from the restaurant. Here, I'll read a little. How germy are those lemon wedges we plop into our water glasses at restaurants? A slice of lemon can spruce up plain water, but you might be drinking more than you bargained for. Turns out those seemingly innocent water glass garnishes, also seen iced tea or whatever, could be serving up a host of unappetizing organisms. For one Journal of Environmental Health study, researchers swabbed the rinds and flesh of 76 lemons from 21 restaurants collected during 43 visits and found that a whopping 70% of them produced microbial growth. The samples were collected as soon as the beverage, either soda or water, was served, before drinking or touching. And while the researchers couldn't pinpoint the exact origins of the microorganisms, they speculate that they may have come from the restaurant employee or raw meat or poultry contamination, among other sources. Although lemons have known antimicrobial properties, the results of our studies indicate that a wide variety of microorganisms may survive on the flesh and the rind of a sliced lemon. So,
well, if you think about it, if you don't wash a lemon, then there's a bunch of bacteria on the outside of the lemon. So when you're slicing it up to put it in your drink, you're slicing it, leaving it open where the inside is acidic, having properties that kill the microbes, and the outside with the rind, obviously that's been in nature. And some people use the same cutting board that they cut meat on, or maybe they've been there for 2-3 days, and the airborne bacteria can land on the lemons. So just be very careful, and a good precautionary way to avoid this is ask for the lemon on the side. And you can pretty much gauge how fresh that lemon was cut, and if it wasn't cut then or that day, then send it back or don't use it. Or just use the juice itself and just put it in the drink yourself.
But yeah, I was quite disgusted by hearing that, and it's so funny too, because you viewers would not believe me if I told you, but we have a friend that eats the whole rind and everything. Mm-hmm. He just munches rinds.
Yeah, but always
because they're good for you, apparently, right?
Yeah, well, the skin has a couple of vitamins that the inside doesn't. But interesting tale to leave out on. We got plenty more for you next episode. For instance, how would you feel if you had the wrong body in a casket?
I'd be ticked.
We'll find out. This and more on the next Earth News.
Take it easy. Wow, I think that was a good episode.
That was a good episode. Yeah. This is Earth News.
And thanks for watching. Oh yeah. It's been real. See you next time.
It's too long. Too long.
Yeah.
Hey.